Hi everyone, welcome to Everyday, your daily stop for virtual reality content. My name is Dee, and today we are checking out a demo for the Oculus Rift Development Kit 2, and it is called Alone at Sea. This demo was also available for DK1, but I haven't tried it yet. This is brand new to me. It's a demo that recreates a virtual version of the Kon Tiki, which was a raft created by Norwegian explorers in 1947 to sail from South America to the Polynesian Islands. They had a team of 6 people, and this was a very primitive raft, and the point of this voyage was that they had a theory that it was possible technically for South American indigenous people to migrate from South America to the Polynesian Islands just by using a boat. And a lot of people thought this wasn't possible because they didn't have access to things like metal that you would need to build a seafaring ship like the Europeans used in that era. And so they decided to build this simple raft just using the materials that the indigenous people had access to, and they made the voyage, and it was a total of 6,900 kilometers or 4,300 miles over the sea, and it took them about 100 days, but they made it and they all survived, so they considered the trip to be a success. And this raft has been recovered and is being held in the Kon Tiki Museum in Oslo, Norway. And they became very famous in Oslo, or in Norway in general, because the lead guy of the expedition was also a writer. He wrote a famous book about it. There was recently a major motion picture about it, produced by Norwegians in 2012. It was the biggest hit in the country in that year, and it's been going out to an international audience since that time. It was released in the US in 2013, so this trip has been a big deal recently in Norway. And I think this is a great opportunity to really get a feel for what it's like to be on that raft in the middle of the ocean, completely isolated, and just having to make this treacherous trip. The developer behind Alone at Sea is named Agua. That's their handle, and I know nothing more about them other than that Agua is Spanish for water, which kind of makes sense for this demo. The only other demo they've released before, not many people are aware of this, they released an entry in the VR Jam 2013, which was co-sponsored by Oculus VR and Indiecade, and it was called The Pathway. And The Pathway was kind of an exploration/horror demo. You start out in an apartment, a shadowy figure appears, you follow them, you keep following them, and it takes you through a variety of environments along a linear path, like a desert and a little forested area and a spaceship and some things like that. So it's an interesting kind of exploration demo, and it's a cool experience, but much lower graphical fidelity than this one, but also more environments to explore. So it's a very different sort of demo from this one. That's all for now. Let's go ahead and jump into Alone at Sea and check out this raft. Alright, here I am in Alone at Sea, the Kon Tiki. It tells me to put on my Rift and press the mouse button to start. This intro part only appears correctly if I'm looking directly at my camera, which is fine. And there's this weird thing in this intro part where if I move my head kind of in a circle around the face, I see this upside down reflection of the face in the blackness. It appears to have something to do with the lens construction or the internal surfaces of the Rift. I don't know, but it seems to be possible to actually see a reflection of the text and the face in the blackness, which is not something you could see in DK1. So I'm just going to note that. It's not actually super important. And I'm going to click. Let's get into it. And here we are. Everything appears to be working in this demo. I have no motion blur when I move my head. I have full low persistence. I can lean from left to right, and that works just as expected. I can lean in closer to things, lean back. Full positional tracking is all good. And I am in the cabin of the Kon Tiki. Keep in mind, 6 people had to live here for 100 days. So this was minimalist living right here. Like, imagine if they were caught in a storm out to sea, and they just all had to like hunker down in this room and hope that all their shit doesn't get washed off the raft. This was pretty intense. Here's a rope. I can't do anything with any object in this except for the radio. The radio is special. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why did they have a radio if they were trying to reproduce a voyage of indigenous people who obviously did not have radios? And basically they wanted to be able to provide constant updates about their voyage to the people back home, and also be able to radio for help in case their raft disintegrated at sea. That would be bad. So they don't think it affected kind of their proof that it was possible to make the voyage in a raft of this construction. It was just kind of their insurance and a way of kind of publicizing it. So I think it's relatively legitimate. They also had some other things like a compass and I think a sextant chart. And I don't think these are all things the natives would have had, but really they're just trying to verify the construction of the vessel rather than the seafaring methods or anything like that. It's actually really interesting if you look into Polynesian seafaring methods. They had all this oral tradition about figuring out where they were at sea based on stars and the migration patterns of animals, and they just passed this down in song, and it's actually really cool. So yeah, here we are out on the boat. I think the music actually helps a lot. It's very calming and soothing. I don't know if they actually ever used the radio to listen to music. You can walk pretty much anywhere on the raft. It won't let you walk into the ocean, which suits me just fine. I don't want another ocean rift right now. It's amazing when you walk out here and you're looking at this flat ocean just extending forever in all directions, and you're completely isolated. I think Alone at Sea is a perfect name for this because, like, imagine if you're like on a plane or something and, you know, there's like people on your left and your right and they're talking and they're watching movies, and there's like a waitress trying to give you like snacks or something. But like if you just put on your HMD and hook it up to your laptop, then you can come here and you can be on a raft all by yourself in the middle of the ocean. A raft made out of South American trees, all lashed together with ropes. Interestingly, the Kon Tiki has absolutely no metal in its construction. It is pure wood and fiber and things like that. And like I said, there's a whole museum dedicated to the Kon Tiki in Oslo. The Norwegian people are very proud of this voyage. Actually, one of the people who operated their radio on the Kon Tiki was also a military radio person during World War II, and he helped to and a bunch of them ended up getting, I believe, awards from Norway for their military service. One of them actually helped prevent Germany from getting a nuclear bomb. They helped because there was a heavy water plant in Norway, and the heavy water plant was making deuterium for Germany's nuclear weapon research program, and the Norwegian resistance shut it down, and some of these people helped out with that, so that's pretty cool. Up there you can see the flag of our vessel. Over here is the Norwegian flag, of course. I kind of float over these logs here, which is alright. I don't demand accurate walking from this. I don't even have a body after all. Apparently they brought like, I believe, 1,000 liters of water on this voyage. I'm not sure exactly where they're keeping it. Maybe it's in all these chests. The water and food supplies were not kept in traditional containers, at least not all of them. They also have these this roofing made of, I believe, leaves. I forget what kind of leaves they're made out of. Anyway, I'm going to climb up to the crow's nest Here's a sail that they used. It's a totally legit sail that the native people could have made. Alright, are we up here? It's a little finicky getting up here, but I made it. And I can hear the flag waving right above my head. I actually don't recognize this flag. Is this like a Norwegian call sign? Do any of you nautical guys know what's up with this flag? I would like to know. And yeah, they would come up here if they wanted to get a good view and see if there was any land in sight, so that they could finally have their voyage be over. They landed... I'm trying to remember the name of the island they landed at. It was a little... They landed at a few different little Polynesian islands, relatively close to South America. I don't remember all their names right now, but they did successfully make landfall. I believe they were involved in at least one shipwreck, but they got out of it and they fixed things up. They made it to the end. Just look at this. Occasionally I see the ocean do something weird. I think it's on some kind of animation loop, and occasionally it like resets the loop. Whatever. It's not a big deal. I think can I just not hear the radio up from up here, or did the radio finish its music? In any case, it's very quiet in this demo. I almost feel like I have to whisper because there's no sound except for the flag waving in the wind. It's very, very quiet. I can jump down from here. It's not intended to be realistic. It's more of an exploration demo, so I think this is okay. Whee! And I'm down. You can actually see the sun directly overhead. And I really like how they did the sun in this demo, because the sun is about the size of the actual sun in the sky. And additionally, if you go over this overhang, under this overhang here, you can see right now, I've just blocked out the sun just there. And if you look down, that just almost perfectly matches up with these shadows on the ground. So they really did put their light source in the position of the sun in the sky. So I think they did a good job with that. And it feels like sunlight. Like the intensity of it and the shape of the shadows and the color and everything. It feels like real sunlight, and I like that. You really feel like you're out in the sun. Like in Tuscany, you definitely feel like you're out in the sun. But this demo also very convincingly gives you a feeling of being out in daylight. Like if you're one of those people who were prone to seasonal depression, where you like your mood is affected by access to sunlight, I have to wonder, like nobody's actually studied this yet as far as I know, but I have to wonder whether being in a VR demo like this would help people with seasonal depression to help with their mood disorder, because I definitely feel personally like I am out in the sun when I am in here, even though it's nighttime here in California. Is there anything else I can explore here? I haven't looked at all the stuff in here. There's these bags. I really love how I can lean down and get a good look at things now. There's this lantern. A basket. So keep in mind, not everything on the boat was something that indigenous people could make. You'll notice like the metal latches on these chests. And obviously the books and everything. This glass bottle. I don't think Native Americans had glass. I might be totally wrong about that. I have no idea. Let me get a close look at these books. I can't really... It would be nice if they had higher resolution textures on these books, so I could actually read the bindings. That would give it a more realistic feeling. But I love the mood of this demo in general. It's very calming, very peaceful. It's exactly the kind of demo that you could just sit in for hours. You could just chill out there watching the ocean and just close your eyes and even fall asleep just lying out on the deck of the Kon Tiki. I think that could be really, really fun. I guess that's some kind of thing to catch rain, or how did this roof keep out rain exactly? I don't feel like it was very effective for that purpose. Whatever. I guess it only had to keep them somewhat less wet than they otherwise would be. Restarting the radio, I can stop it. Like that. And I'm actually using my Xbox 360 controller to navigate in this application. I think it's more designed for keyboard and mouse, but I actually prefer to use the Xbox 360 controller and only use the mouse when I have to start the radio. I like to have that subtle control over the speed of my rotation, as well as the speed of my movement with the analog sticks. I prefer that. Yeah, I think I've said all there is to say about Alone at Sea. It is a simple demo, but a very effective one. And I really think the developers is really onto something with this kind of environmental experience that's also of historical relevance. And so it's simultaneously an educational and an environmental demo, and a mood demo. And I really like all of those aspects of it. And I would love to see more demos like this, where you can kind of hang out in a historical place and get the mood of that place and enjoy that place. Anyway, I think that's about all I want to say about this demo. I'm just going to hang out here for a while, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I will be playing more Wind Waker soon. I'm looking forward to playing Elite Dangerous when they come out with their update for the new SDK. And let me know what other demos you might want me to play. There are lots of cool demos coming out super fast. People are porting their DK1 demos all the time. And I want to try out everything. I want to show you everything there is to play. Also, let me know any suggestions you have for technical topics for me to explore, like I did with time warping and barrel distortion, things like that. And I will see you guys then. Everybody have a great every day.